Okay, let's go into battle. Hello, I'm Geoffrey, Iron Fist, and World of Tanks. Let me see. Okay, that looks alright. So, there are some, I would say, potentially good news, for most people, all people. I wouldn't say it's bad news. About 6th Sense becoming free. Now, you could have removed 6th Sense from all players, so you can give it to all players, whatever. You can give all skills to all players. Whatever. Why is it good news? I think there's something that's good about it, because then you ask yourselves, why do some people don't have don't have 6th Sense? It's just an essential skill. And there are potential reasons. They don't care. They're new players. Whatever. Maybe a couple of other reasons. They're too cheap or something. I don't know. None of these reasons are conducive to having good teammates and having balanced battles. So until skill-based matchmaking is implemented, it would be nice to have teammates that have some skill thrusted upon them, even if they would have refused it normally. Because nowadays you have crew books and so on. You could research the skills. There's like tons of income from this and that, XP from this for event and XP from that, and missions and all kinds of things, and silver and gold being thrusted upon us from various directions. And so really you should have had it, but if you don't want to have it, we'll force you to have it. So in that sense, it's a good thing to have. Now, what is the problem, I think, with old players is that players like me who have been in the game for a long time, like here I have about 40 to 50 crews in these tanks that I play. They are my, whatever they're called, primary vehicles. There are probably about 50 crews here that I play, in addition to other tanks that I don't play. And most of these tanks have crews with 4 to 5 skills. So here I have Schwarzenegger with nearly 5 skills. Here's Major, I can return all crew members, whatever, what's it here? Return crew members. Return crew to vehicle. So it's fully kitted out crew. Some of them only have 3 skills. The loader is not so important. But driver and commander especially, they have basically all the skills they need. And the same for these other tanks. So this one was 4.5. It's a tier 4 tank I used to play. I haven't played for I don't know what years now. But it has 4.5 skills from the time I used to play it. A similar case with that. This has 4.5, nearly 5 skills. This has nearly 5 skills. 5 and a bit, so 5 skills. So let's have a look at this. So you see what the problem is. So for some of us, it's not really a problem. It's kind of a little bit of a letdown. Personal file. So here I have lots of skills. I have, even in this case, situational awareness. So this commander is also a radio operator, and except for firefighting, has all the other skills that I need. The skills that I could get: relaying, signal boosting, call for vigilance, signal eye, chuggable trace, sound detection, totally useless. Mentor. Already have crew members need 5 skills. I don't need a mentor. None of these are any useful. Firefighting is questionable. Would you really research a 5th skill position on a commander and spend resources, hundreds of thousands of crew experience, I don't know, 500,000 crew experience, to get firefighting on a commander? I don't think so. And this is not the case with every single tank, but it's the case with most of these tanks, even the high level ones. Like this one has 4 skills, whatever, 4 skills, but nearly 4 skills. It has all the, it doesn't have concealment. You don't need concealment. This will add like fraction of a percent of the concealment of this vehicle. It's not worth spending 500,000 crew experience to get concealment on this thing. So why are my tanks fully kitted out like this? It's my approach to the game. I feel like as an older player, I want to be more responsible, and I want to have fully kitted out tanks because the team depends on me. Most of them are going to have less than 50% win rate, so they depend on me to be able to make some kind of a difference. This game is still a lottery, especially while we're not having skill-based matchmaking, but this is one situation at the moment. People expect you, as a more experienced player, to be able to make a bigger contribution, so I feel that I have to have these very well kitted out tanks with the top modules. Okay, this is not a very good example. So with whatever the top modules, let's try again. It's of course a premium tank. Okay, let's try again. A non-premium tank. So top modules. Yeah. So then all the possible things you might need. Your tier 8 meeting, mostly tier 9 meeting 10 tanks in most battles. So gold, where you can get better equipment. So, now the question is, if the sixth sense skill is made for free, what do I do with this? I'm going to get repairs for free. Then I have 48% left for what? It's no use. I don't have anything that I need. I don't want firefighting. I don't want mentor. I don't want science. None of these are very useful to me. And even 48% repairs is fine. It's like a sniping tank. So if you get spotted by tier 9, tier 10 tanks, you're dead. So what I would have rather preferred as an option is, rather than getting a free extra slot after the Sixth Sense is vacated, because everyone would get free Sixth Sense, I would have preferred that we have one of two other options. And I got a somewhat cold response about this by some people in the forums when I posed this question of what are the options. The only option is you get a free commander skill, which is useless to me in most of my tanks. And you should be happy with that. Well, I'm not happy having spent 500,000 crew experience to train a commander on a skill, or whatever it is, 400,000, 300,000, whatever, to get now the opportunity to have this kind of flame extinguisher mentor skill on a 4 or 5 skill commander. Don't need this. And so here are the two options I kind of suggested. Maybe I'll elaborate. One is potentially we get a free crew skill for the commander, a new crew skill for the commander. Unlikely if this change is implemented by the next patch, but it would have been nice if they had thought about it. And I mean, the Sixth Sense skill is, if you think about it, it's totally realistic. I mean, you sit in a tank in a battlefield, you're in a bush or somewhere in whatever, among the trees or something, and suddenly a bulb comes on and there's a sound, you've been spotted. Yeah, this just doesn't happen. What would have been realistic, realistic skills that I can think of, because I'm a realistic kind of guy, is we could have, for example, skill that true commanders used. One is binoculars, real binoculars. So you put your commander, you stop your tank, whatever, you get your commander, put the binocs on, you magnify some area of the battlefield, you zoom in, and then you reduce by 5% the Cosimo of any enemy tank in that range. Yeah, it's skill. That's a useful skill. I'd like to have that in a commander. Why not? This is realistic. Or we can have another skill that World War II commanders actually used, and that is turn off their engines now and then to listen to what was going on, and especially whether there were enemy tanks approaching. I mean, you could maybe hear some of your own tanks still moving, but they'll be behind you. other sounds coming from some other direction that you don't expect. So, and then you have some sort of enhanced sound detection, something as a skill. And so the sounds in the battlefield becomes a little bit louder. Those that are behind you, something will also be louder. But maybe you could discern something somewhere in the distance, some heavy tank making a noise or something. You haven't seen the tank, you haven't spotted the tank, it hasn't been lit yet. But you have at least suspicion that maybe an enemy heavy tank, because this noise, this motor, whatever, in the distance or something. There might be something there, yeah. And I don't know why we don't have new useful skills. We have this new Crew 2.0 that I've also commented on in one of my videos. That was so stupid, dumbing down the crew skills rather than introducing new interesting ones. I would have liked to have some new interesting skills that we could actually, go for. That is an option. But if that option is not going to be implemented because there's not enough time, or there's not interest from wargaming, there's no money in it, or whatever, maybe as an alternative option, not to disaffect the more experienced players who have been playing more responsibly over the years and have fully kitted out tanks and crews, that would be the option to, for that empty slot that's emptied by the Sixth Sense, give them a return for the resources they spend to enable that slot, because most of us have spent resources of some kind, time, crew books, whatever, crew XP, all kinds of things. So give them a crew book, a personal crew book that is worth the crew experience for that slot that has been vacated by the Sixth Sense, the fourth slot or fifth slot or third slot or whatever it is that's going to stay empty. To remove that. We have an option. Do you want this or do you want that? And if you want crew books for losing the Sixth Sense, you click on a button. I want crew books. I don't want a free experience, a free commander slot. You get crew books, personal crew books that you can use, let's say, on moving crewmen into new tanks, making commanders, or new tanks you can research. You can have these crew books you can research fast in a commander, something like that. I think that would be a much more useful option for me, much more useful than having empty commander skill slots that I cannot fill in with anything useful that have cost me hundreds of thousands in crew XP to research. So these are my two proposals. I hope someone listens to my video, because I haven't seen any interest from the official content providers to actually give alternative options to those of us for the sake or in the interest of those of us who don't need an extra commander skill free slot. Thank you.